Time for our final visit to Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited, a company whose whole business seems to be based on a so-called bait and switch scheme, a scheme that means most customers buying a much more expensive service than the one advertised. We've seen how they behaved in our house, but we haven't witnessed what goes on in theirs until now.
That's because our moly, Frank, is just about to have an interview to become the company's latest carpet cleaning salesman.
You are?
I'm Frank.
Hi, Frank, how you doing?
Hiya.
Come on in.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Yeah, all right.
Come on in, Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just briefly go through your business.
Dorset branch manager Dean Grant tells him that the company gets its sales leads by advertising a carpet clean for $8.99. Well, we know that, but he makes it very clear that this service won't clean a dirty carpet.
On $8.99, the rare time that you do an $8.99, it's probably because the carpet's been down maybe 6 months. But the chances of you having a new carpet when you come into someone's house are very rare. They've already told us on the call that they need the carpets cleaned.
The fact he said the rare time you do it is one of the ingredients you need to prove a bait and switch. In other words, most of the time is expecting not to give the service that's been advertised.
For argument's sake, if I went to your house and your carpet was 12 years old and I started doing a maintenance offer, it may resurface deep dirt and then you're going to be left with a real carpet.
So there you have it from the boss's mouth. The $8.99 service will make a carpet that needs to be cleaned look worse. What's more, Dean Grant explains that the deal is just to provide the bait in the company's bait and switch scheme.
It's an $8.99 deal, and again it would usually retail at about £40, but what we're doing as a new business, we're pumping it into people to get our foot through the door.
And once they've got their foot through that door, they have to sell, because they're only paid on commission.
And I'm going to show you what these boys earn on a daily basis. We start off from 40% of that, because obviously we make your appointments and we supply you with the van and machine and what have you. Right, he's worked over a period of time where he's on 50% of that. His total for the week was 3,000 overall take-ins, yeah? He took home 1,500 quid. And these boys are doing it week in, week out. Yeah. They're not. These aren't flash in the pan.
Putting salesmen on commission in that way is a classic ingredient to pressure selling. It incentivises anybody selling to push the price up and make a sale at a higher price.
Frank's got the job, and he's told that he'll have to shadow a carpet cleaning salesman until the weekend.
Once you've got Saturday out of the way, you can have a new van Monday and a licence to print money.
Absolutely brilliant.
Perhaps it's that licence to print money or the fact that they're paid just by commission, but it's clear some enterprise employees will go a very long way to close a sale, Dean included.
I had a chap once who walked in there. He just burst into tears. Hysterical. He lost his wife on a job.
Is that what you do when you're intrigued?
This is a horrible situation. So I said, I'll put me folder down. Listen, mate, you sit down and relax. 4-year-old, don't worry about it. You don't want to see it. I said that to him straight. I said, look, mate, if it's too much, you know what I mean?
She saw your
I'll get on my way.
Screen, mate. It was just.
He was like, no, my wife booked it before she was alive and all that. Seeing the salesman, I went to his wife. One of our wishes to get your carpets clean. And he's like, yeah, but you never turned up. And I was like, well, listen, I mean, that's the wrong place. I took T20 off him. That stopped him from crying, mate. Job there, is it? I tried his eyes out. It's a tough old world out there, mate. You know what I mean? Oh my God. But yeah, you just, some of the things are they're comical sometimes.
Yeah, it's really funny. Later, he pairs our mole Frank up with this man, Duncan Fraser, who'll provide his initial training. Frank will shadow him for 3 days, then be expected to go out on the road alone. On the first day, Duncan explains what to do if a customer insists on the $8.99 clean they ordered.
Depends on the job. It's $8.99 job. In and out, mate. In and out and hoover the carpet, get it a bit wet. Off, you know what I mean?
During Frank's 3 days of training, Duncan Fraser called on 8 householders who'd asked for the $8.99 clean. He sold more expensive services to 6 of them. He performed just one basic $8.99 clean and was asked to leave another house after he'd admitted that the cheap clean wouldn't work. Now, I wonder how he takes it.
Wow. Hey? What the I mean, I went through all the mate, you know what I mean? That's a perfect example of a time-wasting
Or valued customer. We've seen a lot. It's time to hear from our lawyer.
The $8.99 service is offered and then rubbished and dissed. That's classic bait and switch, where a more expensive service is then offered. Now that's clearly company policy, as we saw from that undercover video. They expect the service to be taken rarely. Potentially, this kind of thing carries up to 2 years in jail and an unlimited fine if it's prosecuted to the full extent it can be. I'd be interested to see if that actually happens.
Ooh, if I was in charge of Enterprise Cleaning Services UK, I'd be worried. But they've refused to give us an interview. We have tracked down branch manager Dean for a chat at his local golf club.
Hello, Dean. How you doing? Matt, all right?
How you doing? You
BBC Road Traders, yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Enterprise Cleaning, isn't it?
Hang on, mate, I'll just call you back, mate.
Might be best. Yeah, about the bait and switch scam that you've been running on for Enterprise Cleaning, when you go into people's houses for the $8.99, but then sell up, as you say, to a much more expensive service that they hadn't anticipated. It's called bait and switch. It's outlawed now under Section 6 of the Consumer Protection Regulations 2008.
Right, OK. What you'll have to do, mate, is obviously...
We'll put it to you in writing.
With these type of pressure tactics of your own, I think the best thing to do is, obviously, if you've got any complaints department...
We've put it to you in writing.
Yeah, and then obviously...
And you haven't come back to us. That's why we're here.
Again, I'm not a director of the company. I'm
You're
just
a manager.
Yeah.
You're a manager. What you do is you show a defective demo of the $8.99, so people aren't going to take it. As you say, it makes the carpet
on the contrary
dirty.
to that $8.99, we've got a series of $8.99s where people are actually happy with the service. Again, it's a maintenance offer that's due to be on carpets perhaps twice a year. Again, we've got proof of customers that are absolutely delighted with that.
But you've said that it doesn't work on carpets if they're not clean in the first place. It's only going to work on clean carpets. Who has their carpets cleaned if they're already clean?
If you let me finish there, like what we do when we go into the home, we do a brief analysis of the carpet. All depends on the condition of the carpet, basically. That gives us two things. Obviously, it tells us once how dirty the carpet is, and again, what sort of level of clean we can provide for the customer. Again, the customer's under no obligation. Again, what we're doing is just offering another service. If the carpet's therefore heavily dirty, again, we can offer other services on top of that clean.
Come on, you know that's rubbish. What?
It's not rubbish
the
at all.
service clean that you offer
Are you
in the first
a carpet
place,
cleaner?
You yourself have said it's ineffective.
Like I say, I don't really want to
You
get...
yourself have said it's ineffective.
I haven't said it's ineffective.
What it's there to do is get you in the front door so you can sell up in a bait and switch. It's a classic bait and switch.
But what I'm saying, we give the customer a fair...
He seems to be quite happy with his company's sales tactics. But what about his own?
How come then you said with such glee about the chap that you sold to after he'd lost his wife, and you said this is what she would have wanted, to have her carpet clean?
No,
the joy with which you told that story.
One moment there, that might have been a bit of playground talk there. That gentleman actually requested me to stay, and not once did I make fun of the fact that he was bereaved, OK? So let's just put that clear. I took T20 off him. That stopped him from crying, mate.
Job there, is it?
I tried his eyes out. I'm quite confident that the gentleman will know that he had a good job. And again, like I say, we had no complaints from him. OK, if you don't mind, I have got an appointment to go to. It's been interesting meeting you.
Thank you, Dean. Enterprise Carpet Cleaning. It's carpet cleaning, Jim, but not as we know it. We should stress that the company we're featuring is Enterprise Cleaning Services UK Limited of Wimborne in Dorset, not to be confused with anyone else. They say they do not accept inappropriate behaviour or pressure selling. They take customer satisfaction very seriously and continue to strive for improvements in their procedures and service levels. They've written to the customer we featured to address her complaint, but no satisfactory explanation as to why they are baiting and switching, and no photo of their boss, Andrew Briers, yet. So for now, it's his company's name that goes up in lights in our rogues gallery.
Chris Addison in the thick of it, next on BBC One and BBC One HD, hosting Have I Got News for You?